Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today with some balance changes in Clash Royale. So guys, I never do chest opening videos, but I figured while we review the changes coming up, I'll go ahead and open a few chests for you guys. Then we'll hop into a match and I'll talk about my feelings on all of the upcoming changes. So without further ado, the first change we're going to see is the Royal Giant. Hit speed decreased from 1.7 seconds to 1.5. Zap, the stun duration, is going to be decreased to 0.5 seconds from 1. The Princess area damage radius decreased by 25%. Ice Wizard hit points decreased by 5%, just nerfs by the way so far guys, and that continues to the Miner where we see his deployment time reverted back to the 1 second and his hit points decreased by 6. Baby Dragon sees the hit speed increase from 1.6 to 1.8. Dark Prince damage increased by 7.5%. Next up, we have a total reworking of the Bowler card. The elixir cost decreased from 6 to 5. Hit points decreased by 7%, damage decreased by 10%. Overall, that's a pretty significant buff for the Bowler. Speaking of buffs, the Lumberjack also gets a big one. Speed increased to very fast from fast. Hit speed increased to 0.7 seconds from 1.1 seconds. And damage overall decreased by 23%. That's another hidden buff there. It might look like a nerf, but it's definitely a buff. Moving right along, the Log gets a cast time decreased by 66%, travel speed increased by 20%. The Golem gets another buff, hit and death damage increased by 5%, hit points increased by 1%, which is actually a significant amount of hit points. The Golemite gets hit and death damage also increased by 8%, hit point increased by 3.2%. The P.E.K.K.A. damage increased by 5%, and last but not least, the Tombstone spawn speed increased to 2.5 seconds from 2.9 seconds. So more skeletons overall out of that Tombstone. So guys, that was a mouthful. There were a lot of balance changes this time around, and that's probably well deserved considering that this is the longest we've had to wait by far, and part of that probably has to do with the Helsinki summer vacation, summer holiday. They take off a whole month there. So certainly this is the longest wait we've had since the advent of Clash Royale to get some decent balancing changes. Look at that, guys. Just got my Bowler up to level 4, so that's great. I'm really excited about that. So anyway, guys, what we're going to do here is actually just play a match, and I'll talk generally about all these balance changes, how I feel about them. I'm sure you'll all have your own opinions. Curious to hear what you guys think, so be sure to comment. I'll make sure I read them all. Look at this guy's got a Sparky, puts it up to level 2. I didn't have enough gold to put it up to level 2 as is, but I want to open a few more chests here, but I don't have the gems. I want to leave at least 5,000 gems for the tournaments this week. If you guys don't know this, by the way, I host tournaments every single day, 7 days a week at noon Eastern time. I might change that time up, just try to get more people involved, but I put that out on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, just create an account, follow me, and get some free tournaments. So it's at @Clash_with_Ash. Really like doing those, and it gives me an opportunity to engage with you guys even more too, because you guys tweet me your highlights. I get to say GG or better luck next time, and just have some fun with you guys. So anyway, the balance changes. I'm gonna hop into a match. I can't spend any more gems right now. Want to stay at 5,000 to give myself 5 days worth of tournaments to host for you guys. So let's hop into a match here. I'm pretty low in trophies, but I might as well have something playing in the background here, so don't hold it against me if I fail miserably. Anyway, guys, so as we do this match here, what do you guys think of these balance changes? I've had a few days to digest them already. By the way, it kind of got leaked a few days ago, so some of you might already be aware of these balancing changes, but my first gut instinct was finally room for a new meta to some extent. Now, the one thing missing here, maybe missing, maybe not, depending on how you look at it, is any kind of giant nerf. I mean, giants, you can see my opponent right here playing a giant. I think giants are pretty much dominating the game equally at almost every level of play. And in some ways, that's a good thing, because the giant is really a staple of Clash Royale. If you ask me personally, I actually like the giant to be a powerful card, so I don't have a problem with not seeing a nerf to the giant. However, the Royal Giant haters out there certainly will be rejoicing after this balance update news, because I'll tell you what, guys, Royal Giant got a nerf, Princess got a nerf, Ice Wizard got a nerf, Zap got a nerf, Miner got a nerf. Those are all big cards that are definitely make up the majority of the meta right now. And speaking of buffs, we saw the Bowler getting a buff, we saw the Log getting a buff, and we saw the Lumberjack getting a buff. 3 of the new cards from the previous update all getting a significant buff. Now, some of that came in the form of a total reworking of those cards here. Gotta keep an eye on this Sparky as I'm talking. But some of these came in a form of a total revamping. So although you see, for example, the decreased hit points on the Bowler, well, they get far more than they lose there because of that 1 elixir cost. So if you actually just do the percentages out, you'll see that they actually stand to gain in the balance changes. So some of that can be confusing at first glance. You're not sure if it is indeed a buff or a nerf. Same thing goes with the Lumberjack. The Lumberjack has his hit speed increased. He has his speed moved to very fast. Now that's going to be a significant change to the Lumberjack, and he has a damage reduction about 20% or so, but considering his swing speed has been dramatically increased and his movement speed has been dramatically increased, I'm really curious to see how the Lumberjack fits into the new meta post-update. So those are the big things that jumped out at me. Obviously, the nerfs were kind of expected here. We expected a Royal Giant nerf on the previous balance change update. We did not get one, and now we finally do. So it'll be interesting to see how much popularity decrease the Royal Giant sees. Same thing goes with Miner. I know Miner, the deployment time, that was kind of a hidden update or a hidden buff that the Miner got, where the deployment time went down from 1 second to 0.7 seconds the last update. I don't think that was necessarily intended. That's why we can see right now that was reverted back to how it was previously. So the rest of the buffs pretty much speak for themselves in terms of the nerfs and the buffs, actually. And I guess I gotta just speculate a little bit on Zap versus the Log now. Do you think that the Log might possibly find its way into more decks? Honestly, I'm still skeptical. I think I prefer Zap anyway, because Zap actually retargets your opponent's troops, and that's very valuable, especially in competitive play. So guys, anyway, here's all the changes all on one screen. If you guys prefer looking at it all together, go ahead and pause and check it out, and let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. Short video today. Hope you appreciate the news and updates, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.